Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 599th Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. This is a very rare 4v4 Barbarian Invasion battle, and during the course of the battle you will see some massive cavalry and infantry charges going in. I say I'm fighting on my favourite map, the Germanic Forest map, with its flat, big, open space if you want to fight out in the open, or as we've said before, we've got the woods there where you can hide your troops and you can spring those effective, nasty ambushes. Okay, our first teammate is OTD Pen G4P. A lot of you know him, been playing RTW for a long time, and he plays with BI with us for some time. And you'll notice that the upgrades that he's got in his infantry there, if you look, you'll see he's got 8 upgrades, and these are his Plumbartari. Remember these Plumbartari, each Plumbartari unit can throw 810 effective against armour metal tipped darts. Okay, and they keep those darts clipped behind their shields there. And if you notice there, you'll see he's got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Okay, so he spent a lot of money on his troops there. I think that's 1,900 denarii each for 8 upgrades on these Plumbartari unit, and that gives them a 30 defense. So 8 upgrades on there, 1,900 denarii. And as I say, gives them a 30 defense there. So that's pretty good. And he's got his archers there. Now these archers are short, well, medium range, no armor, so they're not great archers there. It'd be interesting to see how we use them during the course of the battle. So let's say he's got 6 archers, 12 infantry, and 2 cavalry. Okay. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and you see he's got 7 upgrades, and these are his auxiliary cavalry. Okay, Summation Auxiliary. They're pretty good cavalry, and it'll be interesting to see how well he does them during the course of the battle there. So there's OTD Penn's army there. Be interesting to see how well he does with that army during the course of the battle. Okay, our next teammate is AM Nestos. A lot of you know AM Nestos. He plays with us on RTW, he plays with us on Barbarian Invasion, and he plays with us on Medieval Total War 2. And as you can see, he's bought the Romano-British faction. Unusual to see him bring that faction there. A quick look at the upgrades on his legionnaires, and he's got 8 upgrades on his legionnaires there. So he's got 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his legionnaires. These infantry can also throw missiles. They throw pilers. If you notice there, you'll see their pilers are clipped behind their shields as well. These are good solid infantry, and you know, they're pretty good. And also he brings a religious faction unit here, and I think he's got 4 of these religious units, because he understands how important morale is on Barbarian Invasion. The rest of his units are hiding in the woods there, but I believe he has got 4 religious units there. So obviously he's going to give his army a big morale boost with that many religious units. Now here's something I want to show you, the Elite Grail Knights. Now he has fully upgraded his Grail Knights. If you count the upgrades there, he's got 9 upgrades. Okay, now make no mistake, these are elite cavalry. Okay, fully upgraded. They've actually cost him 3,340 denarii for each unit. 3,340 denarii for each unit. For that you get a massive 18 attack, a massive 34 defense. So make no mistake, these elite cavalry units here, only 32 men per unit because they're so elite. Most units are 54, but they only get 32. And then he's got his British Legionnaires, as we said before there, pretty good solid infantry there. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does. He got 4 monks, 6 Legionnaire infantry, and 6 fully upgraded Grail Knights. Okay, our next teammate is Brother Member Barkyman, who's bought the Lombardi faction, and he has got 4 Golden Band, 3 Knight Raiders, and 6 Chosen Axemen, and 5 Cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his infantry there. So there's his Berserkers there. Quick look at the upgrades on his Berserkers. Oh my gosh, fully upgraded Berserkers there. Okay, 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. Now these guys, there's 32 of them in a unit. They got massive attack specifications, a big fear factor too, and they are very tough. Barbarian Berserker units on here are really tough. Now we're going to have a look at his Chosen Axemen. Oh my gosh, fully upgraded Chosen Axemen. 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And these guys do exactly what it says on the tin. They are effective against armour, and they can cut wide swathes through heavily armoured troops like Roman troops, for instance. So make no mistake, those are really good elite troops. And then he's got his golden band troops. And if you notice here, they got 8 upgrades on, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold tank. You can see why they're called golden band. Can you see those metal bands they wear around their waists? And these guys are elite infantry as well. They're pretty good infantry. So he's got a pretty good army there. And as I say, he's got fully upgraded axemen and well upgraded golden band. Here he's got barbarian cavalry. Now these are light cavalry, fast moving. My guess is he's going to use these to take out enemy archers or get in behind engaged enemy troops to smash into the rear of them with these barbarian light cavalry units. Unusual for him to bring those type of units, but it'll be interesting to see how well he does with them during the course of the battle. And he's got a warlord unit there. You can see the chosen warlord unit. There's his chosen warlord. Looks quite tough there with his bodyguard. So that's Barclay Man's army there. Lombardi army. Looks pretty tough to me. But you can see no archers. Now remember, his troops are going to be incredibly susceptible to archer fire, but he's got no archer cover there. So it'll be interesting to see how well he uses it. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's got the Roman Eastern Empire Rebels. Okay, just have a quick look at some of the units I've got. I've got Plumbartri units there. Remember, each one of these units can throw 810 effective against armour metal tipped darts. I've also got my spear units, the Legio Lanciari. As I say, these are spear units, so they're anti-cavalry, and I put these on the front of my battle formation to neutralise any cavalry attack that might want to come in on my battle formation. I've got Comitatenses too. These are all Eagle units, so they're going to give morale to my army. These are big 122-man units, so they are quite effective to bring. And of course, I've got the trusty cavalry, the Equiti Clibanarii. Remember, these guys are the ones where they're effective against armour rolling pins. Oh, sorry, I mean maces there. But they do suspiciously look like rolling pins, don't they? Maybe they do bacon in their spare time. Don't know. But anyway, these guys are so tough that you can leave them fighting enemy infantry. You know, most cavalry, you charge in, you pull the cavalry out after they've done their damage. But these guys, you can actually leave in fighting enemy infantry, and they'll still do really good with those effective against armour maces. Okay, so make no mistake, these Equiti Clibanarii cavalry are really tough. And, you know, you should give them a try if you come onto this game. So, we've got OTT Penn with his Roman Western Empire army. We've got AM Nestos with his Romano-British army. We've got Barclay Man with his Lombardi army, and my army with the Eastern Empire rebels. Should be a great one for you to watch. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Danny, who has bought the Roman Eastern Empire faction. Okay, now this, I think you'll find this quite interesting here. Danny has got 13 infantry, 1 priest unit and 5 cavalry. Okay, you'll find that he's got 11 Plumbartri units. Okay, 11 Plumbartri units there. Okay, out of his army. Remember, each one of those Plumbartri units throw 810 effective against armour metal tipped darts. Okay, so he's got quite, as I say, he's got 11 of those. He's got a priest unit. Remember, in Barbarian Invasion, bringing a religious unit is very, very important, because morale is very, very important on Barbarian Invasion, more important than in Rome Total War. Okay, he's got his Equiti Clibanarii there, where they're effective against armour maces. Okay, but something I want to show you about this army build, as I say, he's got 11 Plumbartri units in there. Each one of those units can throw 810 effective against armour and metal tipped darts. Now, this gives him an incredible firepower of 8,910 effective against armour metal tipped darts that his army can throw before we even get in to hand fighting. 8,910. Okay, but the missiles don't stop there. Let's move on to their next teammate, and that is Brotherhood member First Prime. Now, First Prime has got 16 infantry, 3 cavalry and 1 priest unit. Okay, 16 cavalry and a priest unit there, and 3 cavalry. There you are. See, once again, a good tactical move to bring a morale-giving unit there. But out of his army, okay, he has got 15 Plumbartri units. Now, as we said, each one of those units throw 810 effective against armour metal-tipped darts. So that gives his army an incredible firepower of 12,150 effective against armour metal tipped darts that his army can throw before we even get into hand-to-hand fighting. 12,150. So Danny and First Prime's combined missile fire, before we even get into hand-to-hand fighting, get ready for this, is 21,060. So Danny and First Prime between them can throw 21,060 effective against armour metal tip darts into our armies before we even get into hand-to-hand fighting. That's the firepower that Roman armies can bring on Barbarian Invasion. And make no mistake, these two will use those that firepower to great great use there. Okay, their next teammate is Core member Fail. Now, just to let you know, those of you that haven't been playing Rome Total War long, Core is a very old clan started by First Prime and Danny right back in the early days of Rome Total War. To start off with, they were a CWB clan. They played for 12,500 denarii until the CWB money went up to 15,000, which they changed then to 15,000. But as they started to play with the Brotherhood more, they started to play more 30, 31k games. And sadly, the Core clan is no longer, we don't see the Core clan on Rome Total War anymore, but in their time they were an elite, really great clan there. As I say, sadly, one of the great clans we don't see anymore. Now you can see that Core Fail here has got effective against armour axemen there, so they're pretty good. And he's got his 2 berserker units there, and if you notice there, he's got 8 upgrades on his berserker units, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack there, and you'll find his cavalry are hiding in the woods there. Okay, so he's got 6 Burgundian Lancers with their 10 charge bonus, a maximum charge bonus there. Now let's see who their 4th teammate is, somewhere hiding in the woods here. Can I see, yes, I think I can just see a unit there through the woods there. And their last teammate is Brotherhood member Demon, who has bought the Sassanid faction. Now Demon has got 6 Sugdian warriors, 5 archers, and 5 cataphracts. Okay, his cataphracts though have got I believe 8 upgrades on, 7 upgrades. That gives them they've got a 36 defense, which is a massive defense. Here's the Clibanarii immortal unit here, and this has got 2 hit points, excellent specifications, probably one of the toughest, if not the toughest cavalry unit in the game. And he's made that his general unit there, as you can see his general there. So make no mistake, the Sassanid faction is a good faction to bring. Let's say infantry archers are good, but their main strength is their cavalry. So there is the enemy team. It's got the potential to be a really great battle, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought I'd show you how we've set out our team here. You can see OTD Penn has put his archers in front of our main battle formations there. And you can see that the 2 Romans there, myself and Penn, are on the flanks, and we've got our allies in the centre there. So we've got AM Nestos is Romano-British, and of course you've got Barclay Man's Lombardi units there in the centre there, and you've got those maximum upgraded cavalry at the rear. So there's the enemy, there's our troops there, our armies all set out ready to fight the enemy. Now here's something I wanted to show you. Barclay Man moving his barbarian light cavalry towards the woods. Now, we used to call Barclay Man Sneaky Barclay Man, Sneaky Bark, because he moves a cavalry very slowly and steadily around the outskirts of the battlefield and hides them, and then during the course of the battlefield, all of a sudden cavalry charges out from woods and surprises the enemy troops. So we used to call him Sneaky Barclay Man there. And there's the enemy troops there forming up. As I say, it's got the potential to be a great battle and a very rare 4v4 Barbarian Invasion battle. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you'll see that First Prime has brought a couple of his Equitai Clibanarii cavalry units forward here. Now what he's trying to do is trying to get OTD Penn to waste his arrows on that cavalry unit. Okay, let's just pause again for a second here. Now that Equitai Clibanarii's defense is like something like a 36. So archers are not going to do hardly any, if any, damage to that cavalry unit here. And what he's trying to do is get OTD Penn here to waste a load of arrows shooting at his cavalrymen there and not being able to get any casualties at all. That's why First Prime has moved his cavalry unit out there in the hope that OTD Penn's going to just shoot his arrows at him. But as you can see, OTD Penn's a little bit more experienced than that and won't do that. But as I can say, you can see First Prime moving that unit forward, really trying to encourage him to start shooting arrows at him. But as I say, Penn probably won't do that there. But as I say, first prime there, really trying. Come on, Penn, shoot those arrows at me. Waste those arrows. That's what he's trying to get that cavalry unit to do there. But as you can see, the enemy have moved forward here. You'll see that the two Roman armies, first prime and Danis, are going to be the leading edge of the enemy attack here with their Roman troops. Remember the firepower they got between them: 21,060. Metal-tipped, effective against armour darts they can throw into our armies before we even get into hand-to-hand fighting there. Okay, so as I say, first prime and Danny looks like they're going to be the leading edge of the attack from the enemy team. Okay, at this very early stage of the battle here, you can see first prime charging his cavalry, and bang! It smashes into one of OTD Penn's archer units there. You can see there, hit and run, charged in, and on the other end of the battle line there, you'll see that Demon is using his general unit there, that fast-moving Clibinari Immortal unit there, to attack the archers. And here comes first prime in with his cavalry again, and bang! Between them there, they've routed one of those archers there of Penn's. So a nice aggressive start to the battle there by the other team. As we know, the other team here are very, very aggressive and attacking players. And as I say, you can see the two Roman armies of the enemy team, as we said earlier, leading the charge for the enemy team there. These guys are going to be the hard edge of the attack. And remember, don't forget, first prime and Danny between them have got 21,060 effective against armour metal tip darts they can throw into us here. Okay, so there you go. Now, if you notice here, can you see that Danny's got his pilot shield units in open order, as they should be, in front of his main battle formation. Remember, units in open order suffer less damage than units in close, tight formation. But if you notice here, can you see Penn has not got a pilot shield unit in front of his main battle formation? He might be relying on those archers, but they will rout pretty quick as soon as they start taking casualties. And then his units will start getting a hammer in there from Danny's missiles, unless he puts a pilot shield unit in front of his main battle formation there. Okay, that's why pilot shield units are so important with Roman troops here in both RTW and Barbarian Invasion. Okay, as I say, he might be relying on those archers, but they will rout pretty quick as soon as they start taking casualties. There you go. Their morale's not very good at all. Now he needs to put a pilot shield unit in front of his main battle formation before Danny starts throwing all those missiles in. Right here you can see they're starting to exchange missiles, but as I say, Danny's pilot shield units will suffer a heck of a lot less damage than Penn's units there in their close, tight formation there. Right, you can see Penn now is bringing a unit out there to put as a pilot shield unit, but a lot of his units would have suffered damage already there. And as I say, you can see here, now just look at the disposition of the enemy cavalry, especially here. I think this is the flank that are going to hit here. I think this is what's going to take the brunt of the attack. Look at those missiles going both ways. Those effective against armour and metal tipped darts being thrown by both armies. It's like it's raining metal tipped darts there between those two armies. And here, just look at this unit here. Now look, there's just what, 8 men left in there now. Now there's 5, 4, 3, and the whole unit. That whole unit, let's just pause the game for a second. That whole unit of Penn's has just been taken out by sheer missile fire. Okay, no hand-to-hand fighting there. That unit has just been decimated by Danny's firepower there. There's another unit here that's been decimated by Danny's firepower. Okay, because as you can see there, they're throwing over that pilot shield unit, because that pilot shield unit's engaged there. And look at the enemy cavalry. You've got Danny's cavalry there, you've got First Prime's cavalry there, and you've got Fail's cavalry there as well. So it looks to me like this flank here is going to have the hammer blow fall the hardest here on this right flank. It looks to me if they charge in there, Penn's infantry could rout. He's suffered a lot of casualties already, and make no mistake, those effective against armour darts will still be going into his troops there. Look, it's like a blizzard of missiles there going in from both armies there. Just look at the damage that those effective against armour metal tipped darts are doing. Penn's unit, a lot of Penn's units have been routed there. And as you can see, another unit here is getting hammered on the end here. I think, did I see 17 men? Remember, these are 81 man units reduced down to 10, 9. There, look at this unit being decimated here. 3 men left. They're dead. Right, so there is another complete unit of Penn's infantry has just been taken out by pure missile fire. So those two units there, one in front of the other, both taken out completely by missile fire. No hand-to-hand fighting, just decimation there by the amount of firepower that Danny's got in his army. And as I say, look at all the enemy cavalry out there, locked and loaded, and they look to me like they're going to try and smash our right flank here. And OTD Penn suffered so many casualties there, I'm not sure his infantry would be able to take the shock of a massive infantry and cavalry attack going in on him. And he's still suffering casualties now. He's still replying with his missiles here, but just look at the enemy missiles coming in on him. As I say, he's facing Danny, but I know First Prime is also throwing those effective against armour metal tip darts into his army as well, because he's moved up close to Danny. And there you are, that's the best thing for OTD Penn to do, is to retreat there, pull his troops back, a tactical withdrawal, try and get them out of range there of the massive missile fire that Danny and First Prime have got between them. Okay, so that's a good tactical move there by Penn, I think there. And there you can see, if you notice there in mid-air, can you see that dart? That's one of those metal tipped effective against armour darts there that they've been throwing in. And just look at Penn's casualties there. There's those two units that are completely decimated. Look at the other units there as well. Make no mistake, Danny has suffered casualties as well, but because he had his powder shield units out in front of his main battle formation, he would have suffered less than Penn. And here you go, you can see Nestos there moving his units forward. Remember, they can throw pilers, those infantry of the Legionnaires, or Romano British Legionnaires. And here you can see once again Penn throwing those effective against armoured darts into Danny, but Danny's starting to move forward now. He's probably still got some units that he's got ready to throw some more of those darts into Penn's forward units. But just look how weak OTD Penn's army is now. Do you think that army would be able to withstand a massive attack? I'm not sure about that. Here you can see Barclayman's moved some of his Golden Band infantry out with their really good defence specifications, and he's got them, if you notice, in open order. Okay, once again, remember, we put units in open order because they suffer less casualties from missiles in open order. That's why he's done it. But as I say, Penn's army has been greatly reduced here by sheer missile power. The sheer firepower of both First Prime and Danny has absolutely decimated most of his units there. So as I say, if they charge in this right flank, there's a chance that this right flank of ours could break. Okay, make no mistake about that, and make no mistake, the enemy would have spotted that. Okay, here you can see that Barclayman is charging his Golden Band infantry into the centre here, and now you can see Penn moving his red Roman army forward here towards Danny, being quite aggressive and attacking. Probably got fed up with being shot to pieces there, so he's decided to attack. Here you can see First Prime charging a couple of units, his 3 units of Clibanarii, Equite Clibanariis in there, and bang, and they smash in to those Romano British troops here. Here you can see Penn has just put his cavalry into wedge formation there for more impact and more damage, and he's charged in there, and bang, as he smashes in there into First Prime's Equite Clibanarii cavalry. Okay, so let's just pause the game for a second here. Okay, you might have noticed that I've moved my army over from the left flank more into the centre here. As I can see the danger here, it looks like it's going to be in the centre and on the right flank. So I've moved central there to be able to help if I can. I'm going to charge my cavalry straight into the heart of the enemy there. I'm going to take a chance on my Equite Clibanarii cavalry, going to do a lot of damage to the enemy troops there. And you can see OTD Penn's Red Roman cavalry charging in there as well. Plus you've got those fully upgraded Grail Knights of AM Nestos. But just look at the enemy team, locked and loaded, ready to charge in there. Once that cavalry and infantry smashed into the centre, they've got a good chance of routing our entire team. Okay, make no mistake about that. And the firepower that they've used already to weaken our troops there will make a big difference as well. Right here you can see my green Equite Clibanarii cavalry charging into the fray there. Remember, with these cavalry you can charge into enemy infantry, and with their effective against armour maces they can make a big difference there. Right, you can see First Prime charging his cavalry in there, and bang, as he charges them in there into my cavalry. You've got Danny's cavalry in there as well. Here you can see AM Nestos charging his fully upgraded Grail Knights in there. Oh my gosh, look at all this cavalry charging in there. You can see the Sassanid cavalry coming here. Here comes the Alemanni cavalry of Thales charging there. Those Burgundian Lancers with their massive 10 charge bonus, and bang, as they smash in there. Oh my gosh, just look at this massive melee here right in the centre of the battle. Right, let's just pause the game here to take stock of exactly what's happening here. So you've got all of Danny's infantry and cavalry charging in there. Okay, so you've got all of those charging there. You've got Corps Alemanni Burgundy Lancers with their 10 charge bonus charging in there as well, penetrating our team. You've got First Prime's cavalry in there, his Equitai Clibanaris, plus you've got the Sassanids Cataphracts coming in on our flank here, attacking my cavalry from the flank. Just look at that massive cavalry attack there coming in from the flank. I think at any time our team could mass rout. Look at all the enemy troops there, they've still got to throw into us there. So as I said, any time now our troops could well mass rout. Just look at the massive impact there of the enemy troops charging in there. Remember, we got AM Nestos' fully upgraded Grail Knights in there helping us as well. And you might be able to see that I've moved my infantry forward. I'm moving forward units of my infantry formation into the fray as well. Here comes Fails Alemanni, effective against armour axemen, charging in here as well. Oh my gosh, they're going to charge through their allies there into our infantry there. And he's just activated his 2 berserkers. Can you see the banners are flickering on and off, the red banners there? So he's activated his berserkers. I'm charging my infantry, and all my infantry are now engaged here. Oh my gosh, this is the make and break of the battle. Every unit, nearly every single infantry and cavalry unit is smashed in here. We're charging everything we got. Right, let's pause the game for a second. Very dangerous for you here. On the left flank, can you see the Sassanids? I've got their cataphracts there ready to smash into the side of my infantry. Okay, you can see that. They're going to smash into the side of my infantry there. He's got cataphracts, plus he's bringing his infantry around there as well. But the main battle here, you can see, as I say, the Sassanids here, plus First Prime's infantry look like they're going to roll us up from left to right. But as I say, you've got all those archers shooting into us there as well. You can see that Corps Fel has activated his 2 berserker units, so the massive fear factor is going to start on our troops here. And as I say, with a massive fear factor, you can see the Grail Knight's going to be pulled out the fray, locked and loaded and charged back in. You've got all those archers shooting into us. Right, here comes Barclayman. Remember we saw his cavalry earlier hiding in the woods. Now he's going to bring this cavalry out. Could this cavalry make the difference here in this battle? If he starts taking out all those enemy archers that have been shooting into us all battle, he's going to get himself some really good kills with that cavalry. Okay, but here is the main make or break of the battle here. You can see here I've got all my infantry is now engaged, all my cavalry is now engaged, and you can see all the enemy units are now engaged on as well. There's those cataphracts smashing in there into the flank of my infantry there. Those Sassanid cataphracts. And you can see First Prime bringing his infantry in as well. But some great teamwork here by Barclayman and AM Nestos. I just want to show you here a minute. So you've got all the First Prime's infantry charging in on my flank. You've got all the Sassanid infantry and cavalry charging in my flank, trying to roll us up from left to right here. Okay, that's what they're looking to do. But can you see Barclayman is charging his infantry and cavalry in there? Plus, you got those fully upgraded Grail Knights of AM Nestos here, protecting our left flank, stopping the enemy, trying to stop the enemy from rolling us up from left to flank here. Okay, so you can see, as I say, AM Nestos and Barclayman there fighting on our left flank. My infantry still holding the front here against a massive attack by the enemy troops, but AM Nestos and Barclayman there really trying to stop them from rolling us up from left to right there. Great teamwork there. As I say, here you can see all the enemy units pushing in, but there's Barclayman's light cavalry that he's brought in, that he's hiding in the woods there, hopefully going to take out those nuisance enemy archers that have been shooting into us all game. As I say, he could get himself some really good kills here, taking out all those big 81-man archer units there with his light cavalry. But really, smashing into the rear of the enemy troops at this stage might be good. Right, okay, so let's just pause the game here for a second. Okay, so Barclayman here with his infantry and cavalry, and AM Nestos with his fully upgraded Grail Knights have managed to rout both the Sassanid and First Prime's Roman army here on the left flank. Remember, we could see that they were trying to roll us up from left to right, but they have now, Demon and First Prime's units have now been routed here by a great counter-attack by Barclayman and AM Nestos there. Okay, so really well done to them. That was a great counter-attack there. Smashed into the enemy troops, routed them there, so really well done. Over here on the right flank, you can see our red Roman ally there, Penn. You can see his general has been routed there. Okay, so that's bad news for us. He's going to lose a morale bonus that that general would have been given us. Okay, let's have a look at the troops he's got left in his units there. And these are 81-man units. What's he got there? 3 men. 3 men left in that 81-man unit. And 47 in that unit. Oh my gosh, that seems a lot. But basically, all the rest of his army has been taken out. I think he might have one archer unit left, but basically all the rest of his army has been taken out. And look at that enemy infantry pushing in there. It's only my green Roman army there that's been holding all the way through the battle there against a massive hit by the enemy team in the centre. So I'm really pleased with the way that Roman army is held. OTD Penn has done well. But as I say, his army was decimated by missiles before we even get to hand-to-hand fighting. And there you are, you can see a Barclayman's light cavalry looking to charge into the rear of the enemy troops there. A nice hit there by him. That was a really good charge there. As I say, we call him Sneaky Barclayman because he tends to do things like this with his cavalry. Moves cavalry slowly around the battlefield, hides them, and then brings them out at the right time, which he's done in this battle. Great hit there with that cavalry, and we're sandwiching the enemy troops there between our infantry and his light cavalry there. And as you can see, we've kind of mass routed the enemy team there. And there's the I think that's Danny's general just been routed there. And as you can see, we've managed to mass rout the enemy team there. Let's say that was a very, very aggressive attack there by the enemy team.
Gods be praised.
Okay, let's just pause again for a second here. So as we saw here, the main part of the battle there, as I say, you can see all the enemy routing there, but the main part of the battle was here. A very concentrated part of the battlefield here, as you can see, just all the dead. This is where the main battle was fought. A very, very concentrated, small area for a 4v4 battle there. As I say, over on the left flank there, that's where AM Nestus and Barclayman did that counter-attack on First Prime and Demon Sassanid army there and caused a mass rout there. But if they hadn't have done that, I think the enemy would have rolled us up from left to right and caused a mass rout for our team. So really well done to AM Nestos and Barclayman there. Great counter-attack. Really well done, guys. And as I say here, you can chase down the routers. We're not going to let anybody rally, but keep chasing them down with our cavalry there. So let's just pause again. Once again here, as I say, you can see this is, remember, this is where the main battle was fought. This is where the main melee, cavalry, infantry all charging in there. You can see there was archers shooting into us as well. Just look at the piles of dead there. As I say, a very concentrated battlefield here for a 4v4. Very, very concentrated. And as I say, really well done to M. Nestos and Barclayman counter-attacking on that left flank, stopping the enemy rolling us up from left to right. As I say, I was quite pleased with my infantry. They held for a long time in the centre there against massive attacks. So just say really well played. So as I say, first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. Really well played, guys. And you can see it was an average victory. I thought it might have been a close one, but we must have just sneaked into the average victory there. Highest kills in the game goes to Brotherhood member Barclayman with his Lombardi faction, 1,873. Great kills for him. I think he got a lot of those kills with his light cavalry charging into the rear of the enemy, so we're really well done to him. So really well done to Brotherhood member Danny. Possibly didn't get the kills that he wanted to, especially with the firepower that his army had. 8,910 effective against armour metal tip darts he had to throw. Well done to First Prime. Possibly didn't get the kills he wanted to. He had 12,150 effective against armour metal tip darts that he could have thrown into us there. Well done to Core, fail there with his Alamarno army, probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there. And well done to Demon with his Sassanid army, possibly didn't get the kills he wanted to either. But really well played, guys. Nice aggressive attack by you guys, really well done. That old Roman army of mine, very low kills there, but I suppose it did its job. It managed to hold in the centre there against massive enemy attacks, so I suppose the army did okay there at holding. As I say, well done to Barclayman, highest kills in the game with his Lombardi faction there, really well done to him there, did extremely well. Well done to AM Nestus there, really good kills with his Romano-British army. I bet those fully upgraded Grail Knights got some really good kills. And well done to Penn, probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he was decimated by firepower on that right flank. You saw his units just melting away under the massive firepower of both Danny and First Prime. So actually he did well there to get that many kills. So just to say, it's a Spartan Commander saying, hope you enjoyed this very rare 4v4 Barbarian Invasion battle. Bye for now.